Hi, it's Nicola Humbert here of Unbound, and today I'm joined by Deborah Taylor of Book Launch Your Business. Deborah was a recent participant in my Live Your Gift retreat, and I've spoken with Deborah before on my Heal Your Inner Good Girl podcast, but I really wanted to get her on to talk to you today about how to move more deeply into living in and from your gift, because I know this has been a journey that Deborah's been on, as many of us have been on. You know, it very much is a journey and there are lots of different layers to it. And, you know, from my experience of working with Deborah, I'm really interested in what she's got to share around this, which is, you know, it's one of the key principles of living unbound, of living an unbound life, is to be fully in your gift and embodying that in the world and sharing it with the world. So welcome, Deborah. Thank you for...
Hello, Nicola. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I'm excited to dive in. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that straight away. So what does living your gift mean to you, Deborah?
Ooh, that's a big question.
Yeah.
But for me, it means living life and actually having my business set up so that I'm doing things that I really enjoy doing, and that am I using my best skills, that are using the skills I like to use most, that mean I wake up every day thinking, yeah, let's get at it, rather than feeling weighed down and shoulds and ought tos and all of those sorts of things. And yeah, I'm feeling like I'm putting something out there that's uniquely me, and so no one else can be my competitor in a way, because no one else can be me.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's so well put there, Deborah. You know, what you shared there around, well, I think, you know, like a lot of unbound women, we can all do a lot of things. And, you know, in the realm of our business and sharing our gifts, there are lots of ways we could do that. There are lots of different people we could work with. There are lots of different things we could offer. But as you said there, it's choosing to focus on the things that really get you excited and, you know, make you want to jump out of bed in the morning, rather than doing things in a way that maybe you've been told you should do them. And can you say a bit more about what your experience has been, you know, throughout, since you started to run your business, and how that's evolved in terms of focusing on the things that really light you up?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've really been held back an awful lot by all the shoulds, and by being perpetually put off doing the thing that I most wanted to do in my business, because I think a lot of my gift is actually in being able to teach. You know, it's the thing I wanted to do before I started doing this, and you know, I love to teach and I love to share my knowledge and my expertise, and I love to nurture people as well. But I need both. I need to do a bit of both. And everything I've done in terms of building my business is that, you know, the big message is being get clients, get clients, get clients. And there's a huge part of me that always wanted to produce, you know, self-study products, you know, and also things that are really affordable, because I know there are an awful lot of people starting out who don't have a lot of money, but they might want that bit of advice that's actually going to save them hundreds of pounds, dollars, whatever currency you're in. So yeah, I was getting really frustrated, and I found that I was really finding it difficult to do any work at all. At some days I would just get really blocked and nothing excited me, because I was trying to create a business that actually I didn't really want. You know, I always had I only really want probably quite a small number of clients each year, because I want to devote my time to those people, and I want to help people produce exceptional books, you know, transformational books, and books that have a massive impact, not just on the people they're written for, but on the author and on the business that they're created as part of. So that's much more, that's how I feel much more myself in that place. So yes, but I mean, the whole focus on getting clients, getting lots of clients is actually quite unworkable with books, because books are so time consuming. I mean, I probably spend at least 70 to 100 hours with any one client. So you can imagine I can't have 40 clients.
Literally.
Sleep. Sleeping.
Exactly. So, you make a really good point there, talking about your own experience and those days or times, and it could be periods of time where if we're focusing on something that feels like a should, and we're trying to do things in a way that doesn't work for us, then we can feel totally unmotivated, uninspired. It's like we can't do anything. It just feels like trudging through mud, which I won't say too much about. One of your experiences on the retreat. Maybe we'll chat
about my experience with mud. Maybe everyone doesn't, so sorry about
that. Just for the people watching, in case that seems a bit random, the Live Your Gift retreat, it was in the New Forest in the UK, and Deborah had an experience where she did get stuck, literally got stuck in some mud, which it provided a lot of learning for all of us. So thank you for not quite volunteering for that, but for manifesting that experience.
Oh yes, it's hilarious.
So I know a lot of people watching, because I speak with women, unbound women who run their own business, and even women who don't run their own business. It seems like everyone I meet wants to write a book. And, obviously I've written a couple of books now. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts around this and what advice you would give to someone. I think we all know that, I think everyone, it's a cliche, but we all have a book within us. And what's the best way of getting it from that idea and that feeling that, yes, I've got a book, I really want to share this, to actually writing the right book?
That's a really good question, actually. And I think, although we all have a book inside us, we have, I think, a range of probably books inside us. And some of them are going to be, not very interesting, really.
I love it.
Some are going to be, some could be exceptional. So really, when you think you want to write a book, the thing to do is to really start to explore your idea. Write blogs about it, do what I call free writing, just, literally just throw words on a page, just talk to people about it. You don't have to tell them this is my big book idea. What do you think of it? Just talk to them about the idea and what you're doing, seeing what resonates with people, have a look at the market, what everyone else has done, get some ideas maybe, and really sort of take some time to explore that idea, because it's that idea that's actually going to be the major thing about your book. It's not all the stuff about the publishing and the writing. It's noise, because if you don't have a really great idea and one that excites the people you most want to speak to, you're not going to have the impact. So I heard something recently where apparently there are 2 million books. No, there must be more than that. Anyway, apparently most non-fiction books only sell about 250 copies, self-published ones. And that doesn't mean that publishing's a bad thing to do. It simply means that those books weren't properly explored before they were written. And so they're not as good as they could have been. So that is the major thing. And in point of fact, that's what I spend the majority of my time doing with my clients, is actually looking at that idea, really working at it and making it as good as it can be. Making it shine, you know, because if you don't shine, no one's going to notice you. And writing a book is about getting noticed and being visible and proving your expertise and being an authority in your field. So do that, focus your time on that, and also plan. do a proper project plan for your book before you start even putting, doing the proper writing. Really do a proper project plan. So yeah, that's really important as well.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we were talking about on the retreat when we were talking about your work, and it's maybe quite a controversial statement that you made, Deborah, but it's like everyone says, oh, focus on your story and share your story. And one of the things you say is like, well, sometimes people don't really want to hear your story. Can you say a bit more about that?
Yeah, it is a bit controversial. I mean, there's an awful lot about story being said at the moment, and stories are fantastic. They're great ways to illustrate your point. They you can get things across in a story that you can't get across in lots of other ways of describing. But it's very easy to think that your story is so amazing that everybody will want to hear it. But there's not always that amazing. But there's probably something about what happened that is exceptional for you. And that's probably the thing that you really want to share. If you sat down and literally just wrote your story, you probably wouldn't actually achieve a great deal by publishing your book, because, to be honest, publishing anything that's based on a story, I mean, that's a memoir. Memoirs are such a hard sell. They are such a hard sell. Even, very famous people don't always sell lots of copies of books about, their memoir. But you really do have to be quite famous or have an extremely exceptional story to tell. So just beware of being fooled into thinking that if you just put your story down, that lots of people are going to want to read it and buy it. But to be honest, unless you've got something really exceptional, really attention-grabbing and insightful to say to people, the story itself isn't going to have an impact. It's that insight that you've got to focus on. And understand why that insight is so important, not just to you, but to other people, why you want to share that insight. And make sure it is an insight and not just a rehash of what everyone else has said. So make sure there's something of you in that makes it unique and special, because that's what's going to make you stand out.
Yeah. And this is what I love about you, Deborah, and the way you approach this, because, you have got such a depth of experience within publishing. It's not like you've just rocked up and decided to be a book coach. You really, your stuff, and you're willing to kind of say these things that maybe people think about, a bit shocked about it. Oh my goodness, people don't want to hear my story, really? Because we kind of told this stuff all the time. And of course, stories are interesting, and I love to hear people's stories. But like you said, it needs to tie in with what your reader, something that's going to mean something to your readers and your chosen audience. So absolutely tie your story into it, but you want to be focusing on these themes and kind of issues that's going to help to create some kind of activation or transformation in your reader.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the other thing to bear in mind is that some people are really good storytellers. So there can actually be quite an ordinary story, but a very good writer and a very good storyteller will make it feel exceptional. And if you're not a brilliant writer, or you're not a great storyteller, and not everybody is, and you don't want to pay someone to do it for you, then maybe writing a story also isn't the best way to go. Maybe your gift is about writing in a different way and about presenting things in a different way. So don't get bogged down in the latest fashion of how things are. Think about what you do best.
Yeah.
When you write your book. Yeah.
Which, that ties in with living your gift, doesn't it? It's not thinking, oh, well, that person's doing it like this, so I should do that. It's like, actually, what feels good for me. And I think with books as well, I'm very aware of this. It's not just about writing the book. You want it to be something that you're happy and excited about sharing for months and years after it's actually out there.
The book has a very long life.
Yeah,
You know, we're still reading books that were written a thousand years ago.
exactly. My age. I would
And
love
you know, we'd love to leave that. We'd love to leave a legacy like that, wouldn't we, as writers?
Yeah.
You know, as authors. And that's the exciting thing about a book. You can have an impact on someone you never meet
Mm.
and who lives in another country, or, you know, not another planet, but another country,
Right.
who may not even speak your language.
Yeah.
And you can have an impact on that person. And that is an amazing thing. And it's something they can hold, that, you know, even if it's on a Kindle, they can still hold it and look at it and keep it. So it has a long life. It's not a here today, gone tomorrow thing.
No.
And that's a really special thing, I think, about a book.
Yeah. And again, this is something that I love about you, Deborah, and the way you work and what you share. You really honour the process and of writing a book and how important it is and how special it is. And there's a lot of stuff out there, like, you know, write a book in kind of a weekend and get it out there, which is fine. You know, that's one approach.
Yeah.
But you know, when you want to leave that legacy that we're speaking about, I think it's really important to honour the process. Like for you as a writer, you know, I always find it a transformational process, and completely transformational process myself, writing the book, let alone putting it out there and, you know, seeing the impact it makes on other people.
Yeah.
I want to change direction a little bit and talk about your experience of allowing yourself to be supported kind of in sisterhood, in community, in your business, because, you know, you and I, we both run our businesses, you know, we work on our own. And, you know, I know for a lot of unbound women, it's the same. We decide to start our businesses and we do it for ourselves and we're working on our own a lot of the time. And obviously on the retreat, you were kind of coming together with a group of women who were in a similar situation. And I know we've worked together in other groups before. And what is that like for you to, you know, what do you get out of being in community with other women who are sharing their gifts?
Well, there's so much. I mean, I'm currently in a co-working space. So
Nice.
no one else here in my little room.
How ironic.
But I have been in some quite busy co-working spaces, so it's quite nice being in a great big room on my own at the moment. But I wouldn't want to do it all the time because it is just being around other people. But in a community, an online community, there is that sense that you're not on your own. If you are having like a bad day or you've had a realization, even you want to share it, there are people you can share it with. And sometimes, you know, the act of simply writing it down, as we're talking about writing, just writing it and putting it out there, it's not so much about whether actually someone even responds. It's knowing that it's out there in a safe space, which isn't, you know, you're not going to get criticized. You're not going to get someone, you know, trolling you or anything horrible like that. But it's also the sense that, you know, if there's something that I know there have been times when I've been stuck with things, or it's in the process of sharing an idea that I've realized what's good about it or what isn't quite working. And that's what's fantastic about a community, is that you can actually say, do you know, I can't, it could be anything. It could be a really simple thing like I don't know how to do such and such on Facebook, or, you know, I don't know how to do this with my, you know, a technical thing that you ask someone, or it can be about, like, I've had this idea, do you think this is completely crazy, or does it feel? And actually having an honest bit of feedback from somebody, because we do spend our time on our own. And even if I am in a co-working space, I can't go up to someone in the next table and say, yeah, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
They're not interested.
You could.
I could. I probably wouldn't be very interested. But, you know, but a community is just, it's that sense of support and that sense of belonging. I think is really important. Belonging, support, and having a forum, a space where you can vocalize and express things that you're thinking about, and actually gets, you know, on those days where you're having a bad day, you can also get people to G you up a bit, and accountability if you want to set that up. There are just so much you can do.
Yeah.
And I've formed really good friends through communities as well.
Exactly.
So that's really important.
Yeah.
Like-minded people doing this, on the same path as you.
Mm.
You don't have to explain everything.
Yeah, exactly. There's that shared understanding. And I love what you said there about, sometimes just expressing it within a group, whether that's written or spoken, is enough. Regardless of, how that's received by other people, just having it witnessed in a way and expressing it creates a shift or an insight, just through that very act, which is different to simply writing it in your own kind of journal, which is powerful as well. But I'm really glad that you made that point.
I find that when I write things in a Facebook group, I spend time making sure that I've said it in the best possible way. I actually edit my posts usually. I'll even go back and edit them if I see I've written something grammatically incorrect. I'm a bit anal like that. But when I write in a journal, what I do is I end up by doing planning. I move into planning. Whereas if I write it on the Facebook group or say it in a live or something, I express it properly and then I know it properly.
Yes.
Really valuable.
Yeah, I guess it makes us think about it at a deeper level because you really want to communicate it to, that's a really great point. Really great point. Thank you. So can you say a bit about your experience of the retreat, the Live Your Gift retreat, and what was the key insight or learning you experienced from that?
Well, I mean, it's actually been massive rocket fuel for my business. The 2 weeks since I got back, it is 2 weeks, isn't it? It seems less than that, actually.
It is, yeah.
But it is the 2 weeks since then, I have started to put in place everything that I always wanted to do. So I now have a complete vision for everything for my business. I do have a clear vision for my business, and that's something I struggled with massively. I couldn't quite get it to work. I couldn't really see it in my mind. I'm one of those people, I have to have a very clear vision before I can implement something. So what I got from the retreat was space, a lot of space and time to think about myself and what I was doing. That was very special. Being in a beautiful location, spending a lot of time outside, sinking up to my shins in mud. And just being somewhere that was it was a lovely hotel, and it was like a big warm blanket of time to myself and being with other people. It was lovely. It was really lovely, the retreat itself. But what it did was it allowed me to finally own the thing that I always wanted to do, which was to create this series of products and self-study things and to really I was quite clear on my coaching and mentoring programs, but I hadn't allowed any of the other stuff in. And I finally gave myself permission to just say, I don't care what anyone else says. I don't care if everyone tells me this is the wrong thing to do. My list isn't big enough. I won't sell anything. I don't care if I don't sell it. I want to make it.
Yeah.
And when I make it, it makes me want to do the marketing. So this week I've done a series of Facebook Lives on my Facebook page. I've actually done some marketing for the first time in about a year. I've got to be honest, about a year since I did any real marketing, because I just felt kind of constipated in my business. I couldn't write anything. Everything I wrote, I hated. I don't know how many unfinished blog posts I've got on my computer. I just felt really hemmed in. But now I feel like I've got this freedom and I'm excited. I'm excited about what I'm doing. And I just feel like everything's coming together. I feel like I've just done a complete U-turn shift back in the direction I really wanted to go in. Or maybe not back, but towards the direction I always wanted to go in. And that I'm actually finally being myself in my business. And it's got nothing to do with whether I make lots of money or, as I said, whether people buy stuff. It's about me actually expressing who I am through my business. And it feels fantastic.
That's so beautiful to hear. And the fact is, when we allow ourselves to be fully expressed in our businesses and give ourselves permission to create for the joy of creation, we're not creating something because we feel we should. We're creating something that's like, oh my goodness, I want to make this and I want to share it with the world. And you say, I don't care if anyone buys it. But when we're coming from that place of non-attachment, that's when the magic happens. And that's when, you know, we start to make the money we want to in our business. So I'm so excited.
Yeah. And my beliefs have completely changed as well. You know, I've gone from feeling anxious and, you know, I've got to worry about where the next client's coming from, the next, you know, bit of money's coming from, to feeling, you know, it's just going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's all going to work out perfectly, and I don't need to worry anymore. And that's a massive weight that's lifted off my shoulders. Because I kind of decided not to worry anymore, because I'm so busy doing other things.
Exactly. But then so much energy can get drained away when we're in that place of worry. I get it. You know, we all have times when we're anxious. But, you know, you can create some space for yourself and get yourself back into that place of possibility and excitement rather than like, oh, you know, heavy anxiety. So, Deborah, I'm sure there are going to be people watching this and wanting to find out more about you and how you work and what you offer. So what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Well, the best way is probably through my Facebook page, which is literally, it's just book launch. If you look up book launch your business, however you write it, it'll come up and you'll see my picture there. Or you can go to my website, which is booklaunchyourbusiness.com. That's all one word. And there's a planner there that you can sign up for, so you can stay in touch with me that way. And I don't really hang out on Twitter, but I mostly hang out on LinkedIn and Facebook. So you'll find me in both of those places. So.
Fantastic. And we'll put the links to your Facebook page and your website and your LinkedIn profile below this video so that people can find you easily. Thank you so much, Deborah, today. It's always a joy to speak with you. And, you know, I love books myself, you know, so we could both talk about books. Like
I can talk about books for hours, so you know.
Exactly. And I know that, you know, so many women in this community feel the same. So I'm really grateful that you took the time to speak with us and share.
Thank you for everything, Nicola. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we will see you again soon. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you all.